What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. So this is going to be a short one, and I call this one "Attention Carpetbaggers," and I want to put something to rest here, and it's got to be dealt with, and it's got to be said, and I'm sure you'll probably hear it more and more. But I am sick and tired of you out-of-state carpetbaggers that want to interject your opinion on whether or not Governor DeSantis should abandon his post and run for president. Now, if he wins, he abandons his post. But let me put it to you very clearly here. Now, and you ask any Floridian who voted for DeSantis, it's kind of a 50-50 split, not really 50-50 split. They know for a fact, in fact, they don't want to see DeSantis abandon his post to be president. In fact, they wish he could stick around forever as governor, but you only get to serve 2 terms, and no disrespect to the lieutenant governor, but she wasn't at the forefront. So, if he were to leave, then she would be governor, and there you go, and maybe setting her up for a gubernatorial administration, prefabricated, But let's take a look at something real quickly here. Governor DeSantis has done an amazing, amazing, amazing job. Now, with Trump running for president, if DeSantis runs against Trump, he will lose. He will lose the primary. 100% he will lose. And you know what? I want to take the clock back to the 2016 campaign, primary season. Who did Trump go after first? He went after the big dogs first. He went first person he went after was Jeb. Because he saw Jeb as even though Jeb got the lowest amount of votes, but more people donated to his campaign. The mega donors donated to his campaign than anybody else. Then he went after Rubio. And it wasn't long before it went down to Trump and Cruz. I guarantee you this is not going to end well if DeSantis runs for president. It will tarnish his reputation, and it will hurt him badly, as President Trump has said. It will hurt him badly because Trump's the most dangerous when he's got nothing to lose, and when I mean dangerous, he is the most effective when he's got nothing to lose and his back is up against the wall. He loves that. Think about it. He'll probably he is that guy that wants to overcome all odds. And if you look at it, he's like, why? Cards stacked against him, everything's kind of rigged this way, that way, whatever. And believe me, if you read The Art of the Deal, you'll know that when things kind of look impossible, changing of tactics, there's always a way. And he's just all about winning. And so you'll see that. You will 100% see that. I recommend, listen, next to The Art of War, the Art of the Deal is probably something that you want to keep in your library. in your personal home library. I guarantee it. So without that saying, here's what it would look like if DeSantis ran in 2024. He will be the first one that Trump goes after. He will be bludgeoned hard because that's the way. I mean, but that's not to say DeSantis won't fight back or whatever. But the way Trump conducts himself. So I'm gonna say this: do not encourage DeSantis to run in 2024, because if he stays out of it and doesn't run in 2024, he is set up perfectly in 2028. And the same can be said because there was another person buying their time, and she's really smart. And and I guess her time has passed, and I saw that people were kind of floating her around as maybe a VP pick, and Pam Bondi would be good just about anything, really. But you see, here's the thing: people will forget. People forget things. All right, let me tell you about someone, Adam Putnam. You're like, Adam who? And I say Adam Putnam. Who's Adam Putnam? Well, Adam Putnam ran for governor in 2018 in the state of Florida. He was the party favorite. He's been a career politician. He was the ag commissioner, and he was the party favorite to secure the Republican nomination. He was a go along, get along establishment Republican, and he got bludgeoned by Ron DeSantis. And Ron DeSantis had the Trump endorsement at the time, and that's what happened. So you're like, who? And then this one lady, I forget who her name was. She was supposed to be the Democrat Party favorite, the establishment favorite. I forget her name. She was oh gosh, Lawton Childs' daughter or granddaughter or something. Lawton Childs was governor here in Florida for a long time. The last Democrat governor we've had in like 30 years. So she didn't get the nomination. She lost to a radical Andrew Gillum, who was supposed to be poised as the next Obama, supposedly. And boy, did we find out what he was into. So you say who? Now, Charlie Crist, he could have ran a second term for governor, but he decided to abandon his post and run for Senate. In the state of Florida, you cannot keep your post. Here's how it works. If Nikki Fried, she is the ag commissioner, Democrat ag commissioner. People barely, people don't pay it, and that's why she was able to sneak in, because it was a tight race in 2018 all around. She was able to sneak in. Everybody else was Republican. They all won by narrow margins in 2018. And you see, she ran for governor. She didn't get the nomination. She was not allowed to run again for re-election as ag commissioner because she chose. And that's the beauty of here. When you run for something else, when you are something else, and you could have had a shot at a second term as that something else, you have to abandon the post. So Charlie Crist decided to abandon his post for governor, ran for Senate. He lost in the primary to Rubio. Then he decided to run as an independent, and believe it or not, he got a lot more favor from Florida Democrats because of how he ran his administration than the actual Democrat nominee. People forget who that guy was. And it was like a 20-30 split. It was like Rubio got 50%, Charlie got 30, and this other guy, the Democrat nominee, got like 20. So that's what happened. People forget who these people are, and they're lost in the ether. Ron DeSantis, he should bide his time and run in 2028. would be a great idea for that. So that's my opinion of what's going on, and so my message to carpetbaggers: butt out. You're trying to take away a good governor, and I don't want to see that. I mean, if he loses, he won't be he wouldn't have to abandon his post. He would only abandon his post if he wins, because it was a kind of a thing. I got to look up the law, but you want to have him abandon his post just so he could be president. And let me tell you, with the charisma of Donald Trump is still the most popular guy in America and in the world, even when he wasn't president. You understand that. They let him live rent-free in their heads. That's the kind of pull this guy has. And now that he's got nothing to lose, and now this time he won't associate with certain people because they stabbed him in the back. And that was his biggest weakness, was his ego. His biggest weakness was his ego. And say, oh, well, yeah, I agree with you. And then they start saying stuff and doing stuff, and then they get fired. And then keep your friends close and your enemies closer. He's a smart guy. And hey, that whole Trump time traveler thing, that might be the case. We'll see. We'll see. Anyways, so that is my thoughts. Again, you are a carpetbagger, and I don't like you at all if you are trying to wedge a divide amongst Florida voters. And real quick, while we're on the subject of voting and whatever, I saw a video by Ron Paul recently. And he's saying that the midterms in 2008 versus the midterms, 2010 versus the midterms in 2022 were vastly different because people were motivated about freedom, about liberty, about auditing the Fed, about all these other things that don't get discussed at all. But I still see that votes are still coming in for the Republicans, and they're probably going to gain more House seats, even though they got the majority now, slim majority. They're probably going to get even more of a majority. And yeah, it was kind of a red wave. But, of course, we see with shenanigans. So now we have to think strategically about how to deal with the shenanigans moving forward, regardless of who is what and why and how, running for what office and herefore, therefore, whatever. Anyways, those are my thoughts. If you're a carpetbagger, get out.
If you're a new listener, just type in Pentagon tested gay bomb on Iraq. They didn't consider using it. They've used it on our troops. In Vietnam, they'd spray PCP on the troops, Jacob's Ladder. You think PCP, some horse tranquilizer, something? They got stuff that'll whack your brain permanently.
What are you talking about?
Brain chips in the troops. They give the troops special vaccines that are really nanotech that already re-engineer their brains. Yeah, there it is, the gay bomb.
Huh?
Look it up for yourself. I mean, this is what do you think tap water is? It's a gay bomb, baby. And I'm not saying people didn't naturally have homosexual feelings. I'm not even getting into it, quite frankly. I mean, give me a break. You think I am like, shocked by it, so I'm up here bashing it because I don't like gay people? I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay. Do you understand that?